Hello everybody, it's Naguura and I have another recap for you. This time it was Sauercrowd day 12, I believe. It's a lot of days at this point. So, lots of things happened. First of all, we had a really close call from a group in Maraudon. Chef Strobel almost died on the last boss on Princess because Princess does a fear, like a melee fear. And that fear also has an aggro reset. Like, aggro resets the whole aggro table of the boss. And the tank was feared, Kevin. And Chef Strobel was not feared because he had moved away from the boss a little bit when the rock was thrown. And then he continued attacking as Kevin was feared. He moved up into the aggro table and had aggro. He got crit twice by the princess and dropped incredibly low. Thankfully, then still managed to use Vanish and ended up surviving, though. All right. Then we had a really tragic death today, and it was Bonjba Maurice that died with level 30 to drowning as a warlock. Yes, you heard that right. A warlock died to drowning with level 30. It is very unfortunate. I actually feel really bad for this one because it was obviously a thing that can happen, right? Like, if you don't know, a warlock has underwater breathing, but it's a buff and it only lasts 10 minutes. So I'm assuming what had happened is that he had the buff previously and it just ran out and he wasn't aware and he was just, assuming he has it and didn't see the breath and just kind of, was talking, doing other things and just ended up dying. It was very sad. I'm sure that's something that's not going to let him go for like a while. He's going to think about this for a long time, unfortunately. All right, then we had another death from Bleach. Bleach is the paladin player that died as he was taking Silver Rock, where the whole Chef Strobel thing happened with the trial and whatnot. And he died again. He was already up to level 35 on a druid. He died again, unfortunately, in a cave. And now he's trying again. He's going to go human this time. Since his druid didn't work out, he's going to be a human paladin again this time. All right, then we had a really high level death. We had a level 47 death from a hunter called Radler, and it was sad. It was a hunter death. A feign death didn't quite work out the way he wanted, and he didn't have his potion of Elune ready because he used a health potion, and he just didn't have anything left and ended up dying. It was very tragic. Then we had Junie Cat, who died. She was a level 32 paladin that played with Grubby. They played for a while together. They leveled together. But unfortunately, they did some like AoE pulls, since Grubby's a mage. And Junie got some aggro. And then she didn't like... She had aggro from some mobs first. And then Grubby tried to kite. And then as Grubby was starting to kite and she healed herself, she got aggro from more mobs. And eventually she just went down because she couldn't go anywhere with her character. And she had all of these mobs on her. And it was... just sucks. All right, then we had another very unfortunate death. Salty Dane died again on level 42. He was the highest level character of the guild that maybe would have gotten level 60 first if he wouldn't have died on his rogue with like level 50 or mid-40s. And now he died again. This time around, it was even more unfortunate because this time around he died to a disconnect. He was level 42, was fighting a mob, and the mob was on 10%. He disconnected, his internet was gone, and as he came back, he unfortunately had died. Incredibly tragic, super, super sad. But then we have some good news. We have our level 60, our first level 60, and it was Han. Han hit level 60 by doing the Hogger quest as the final thing to give him the level up, which is amazing. He was so fast. It's incredible that we have our first level 60 already. It's crazy. Huge congrats to Han for sure. Then we have a little bit of a drama going on. Two things happened. So apparently during last town hall meeting, we all had to give taxes to the guild bank. We had to give the equivalent of our level in silver. So if you're level 32, you had to give 32 silver. And Kutcher, who is the leader of the Gnomes, said that he's not going to give taxes. And he also encouraged the other Gnomes to not give taxes. And that apparently, according to the guild leaders, is obviously not allowed. And now, as a punishment, tomorrow, none of the Gnomes are allowed to use flight paths, except Kutcher. Kutcher, the leader of the Gnomes, is the only one who is allowed to use Flight Pass, while all of the other gnomes are not, which is obviously a big deal for the whole day. Now, in retaliation, the gnomes decided to go on a strike tomorrow, and they're not gonna interact with the other races, and they're not gonna help out with anything apparently. So tomorrow, as a punishment or as like a retaliation kind of riot thing, they're not gonna help anyone. They're not gonna do any kind of profession stuff for other people. They're not gonna do portals. They're not gonna do dungeons. So yeah, we'll see what tomorrow is gonna hold for us then. All right. Then, when it comes to my personal leveling experience today, I did a lot of solo leveling at the start. I was there very early. I am following just the Rested Experience guide. I'm until level 30. I'm doing the speedrunning guide. I ended up logging out with level 20. I also managed to do Deadmines at the very end. I did Deadmines with Aster, with Lost Kitten, and with two players that I haven't played with before. It was Valle, and it was... oh my god, what's his name? Sorry, Boris, you're gonna have to cut this out until I found out his name. Oh no, what's his name? It would be funny if Boris does not cut this out, which is my editor, by the way. And he just lets me drown here. But two more players were with us that I didn't play with before. It was Valle and it was Debitor. It was very smooth. Initially, people seemed a bit nervous because we had some new players in there that played WoW for the first time, and some people hadn't played Classic in forever. And yeah, it was a bit like, but in the end, it was really smooth and nothing really happened. Also, they listened to my calls that I made very nicely, which was amazing. There were some close calls, I guess, somewhat like there were moments that could have caused an issue, as we once, for example, pulled 6 mobs, and I lost aggro at some points. But because I explained that they just have to walk to me and walk through the consecration and not run away, they actually did that and listened, and it was great. It was actually great to see how smooth a run can be if people also just listen to calls and don't panic. And yeah, that was really cool. All right, then there's one more thing that happened. So basically, it was just a small little meme thing that happened. So Sunglitters wanted to ask if there's potions on the human bank for her level. She was level 37 at that point. And I logged over. I didn't think there was really, but I checked anyway. So I looked, and there weren't really any potions for her, all kind of low-level potions that I had on the bank. And then I checked to see if there's other items that I could trade her potentially. And there was 2 really good items. One was a level 39 chest that had super good stats, would have been good for anyone at that level. And then there was a belt that was also level 40, I believe, that was really good. It was a plate belt even. So I showed it to her, and I was like, you know what, you could have this, this is obviously the human bank, so this is meant for all humans. These items, they're being sent in by players, and they're meant for all human players, right? So I was like, you know what, you can have this. But I said she should, she wanted to have it in the moment. She was level 37 and the items were level 39. And I said, you know what, no. I'm going to keep this safe on the bank, and you level to 39, and then you can have the items. And she, she was a bit upset. She was like, oh my God, how could you, not give the items to me? She's like, I swear I'm not going to die. I'm not going to do it. But I personally, didn't, to me, it didn't make sense to risk these items because, they're not mine. They're from the other humans that donated them. So I didn't want to give them away to potentially be lost forever without ever being worn. So anyway, so what happened was that she wrote a fun little in-game mail to the gnome bank. She's a kutcher, basically. She wrote that the humans are not respecting her, and that she's gonna send items to the gnomes from now on. So people linked this to me, and as I was watching the clip, I was like, wait a second, what? This is betrayal. She's sending items to the gnomes now. What the hell? So as she got level 39, I was thinking this is gonna be fun now. So she gets 39 and she messaged me and she goes, hey, could I get this chest now, this item? And I was like, you know what? Maybe you should ask the gnomes if they have the item for you. So she ended up not getting the item anymore. And that's what happens when you betray the humans. The nice humans that gift items to you, and you're just kind of like, yeah, this is what happens. This is what happens, Sunglitters. So anyway, that was it, I believe. Other than that, I don't think anything super crazy happened. There was like one really cool clip of Metashi doing a dungeon with a bunch of people. It was like a super close call because they had some respawns and they did like a really big pull. And Metashi did such good like raid leading and shot calling that they all survived and they managed to do it. But that was really well done. Like I was impressed by the shot calls that he did and how the people all listened to his calls and like did what he said. Like it was really good. It was like a prime example of how you should be dealing with things and pulls that go wrong. But yeah. That's it for the recap today. I hope you enjoyed the recap. I will, of course, be back tomorrow. Hopefully no high-level players die. And hopefully we see some more level 60s. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And watch my stream over at twitch.tv/Naguura or on YouTube as well. I'm streaming here too. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching and for all the support. I appreciate you very much. And good night.